Hey everybody, Neil Malik with Knack Training here, bringing another Everyday Office video. And in today's video, I want to make sure once and for all that everybody is comfortable with the concepts behind relative, absolute, and mixed references in Microsoft Excel. I've been getting a lot of questions about this via email, in my courses, things like that. And I want to make sure that I have really recorded once and for all a good copy of this so that I can refer people back to it on a regular basis. So first item, what is a relative reference and what is an absolute reference? A relative reference is a reference that is flexible, that can move from one cell to another. And an absolute reference is one that is locked down, that is guaranteed to be pointing at a specific cell. So a relative reference is, in this example here, what we're going to use when we want to add up region 1's totals, and then later we'd like to add up region 2's totals, and then later region 3's totals. And we can see why this needs to be flexible. If I go to cell F3, if I go up to the auto sum button up here at the top of the screen and press the auto sum button, you can see that the reference in my calculation says to go to cells B3 through E3. However, as soon as I want to copy this function down to row number 4, we know that we want it to add up B4 through E4. And when we copy it down to row number 5, we want it to add up B5 through E5. And so this is a relative reference. It is a reference that is flexible. I put my mouse in the bottom right-hand corner of the cell that function is in, click and drag down, and you can see that each cell in this column has a different value because when I go ahead and show what's happening inside these cells, you can see that each row is represented in this calculation. In the first row, it says 3's. In the second row, it says 4's, 5's, 6's, and 7's. So this reference to cell B3 is not locked into cell B3. It is a pointer in a direction, and later when we copy it down, we want to keep going in the same direction, not necessarily to the same cells. However, if we decide that we need to do the next step in this process, and we need to figure out what the commission rates are for each of those totals, now we have a different problem. So let's do an equal sign in cell G3, select the first total in cell F3, and then multiply it using an asterisk against cell I3. Here's where the problem comes in. This first calculation will undoubtedly do its job correctly. However, when I go to copy this down to the next cell, I have to ask myself, are both sides of this equation supposed to do the same thing? On the left side of the equation, I have a reference to cell F3. And when I copy this down, I don't want to reference cell F3 anymore. Now I want to reference cell F4, $288,000. And then when I go down to the fifth row, I want to reference $307,000, etc. I want to keep on flexing this down. I want it to be a flexible, a relative reference. On the right side of the equation, on the other hand, I have a reference to cell I3. And then I ask myself, what would happen if my reference to cell I3, when I copied it down, became a reference to cell I4? Well, cell I4 doesn't have a commission rate in it, so we have a problem there. This is where we put a $sign in front of the letter I and a $sign in front of the number 3. That locks down the reference to cell I3 so that it can never flex away from cell I3. This makes it an absolute reference, or some people might call this a locked reference. Let's go ahead and see this in action. I'll autofill this down again by putting my mouse in the bottom right-hand corner, clicking and dragging down. I can see that this calculation is doing something right. And in fact, when I go in here and I look at this calculation, I can see that over and over again, I have F3 times I3, F4 times I3, F5 times I3, F6 times I3. I3 is consistent, while the left side of the equation is flexible to move down to each of the related cells. So sometimes you need to be able to lock your references with absolute references in Microsoft Excel. Let me return to cell G3 and give you an important keyboard shortcut here. If you have your mouse cursor blinking next to the cell I3 reference and you tap the F4 key on the keyboard, as you can see here, it will change $I, $3 to $3 to $I3 to I3 without any dollar signs, and then back around to $I, $3. So the F4 keyboard shortcut allows us to put the appropriate dollar signs in there without having to take our mouse and click in exactly the right spots. Now, there are, every once in a while, opportunities where a mixed reference, a reference that is partially absolute and partially relative, is appropriate. And here's a scenario that would come up. So as you can see here, I have the fiscal year 15 totals, the fiscal year 16 totals, and the fiscal year 17 totals. And I'd like to figure out what the commissions we paid were in 15, 16, and 17. Now, we know that if we reference with an equal sign, we can reference cell B3's totals, and then we put in an asterisk and we reference cell I3. We know based off of the previous example that I probably want to lock down cell I3. But here is the question. I know that I want to lock this down so that I3 does not become I4 going down. However, would it be okay if the reference went to the right? If the reference to cell I3 became a reference to cell J3, to the fiscal year 16 commission rate? And if that's the case, now we can use a dollar sign in one of the spots, but not both. So again, noting here that I'm tapping the F4 key on the keyboard, you can see here I've put in two dollar signs so that the I in this reference is locked down as well as the 3. But when I tap the F4 key again, now I can see that only the third row, the 3, is locked because it has a dollar sign. The I is not locked. So if I were to fill this to the right, over to fiscal year 16 commissions, now I3 would become J3, and J3 is in fact the 12% of the fiscal year 16 commission rate. And so this is the appropriate reference. The dollar sign on the 3, making sure that it doesn't go down to rows 4, 5, and 6, but not the I, leaving it flexible to move over to J and then later to K. So I go ahead and use that type of reference, click and drag that down, and then click and drag it to the right. And I'll go ahead and fill this without the formatting so that you can see that in fact in each one of these instances, I3 becomes J3 becomes K3, but it remains a 3 all the way down the table. It never flexes away from the third row. And so an absolute reference, a relative reference, and a mixed reference all have situations where they're appropriate to use in your spreadsheets. It's most common to use relative references, second most common to use absolute references, and then mixed references come in scenarios like this one.